By far and away the most exciting, not just for me, but I think everyone, is Polar River. What did you, were you expecting her debut first and foremost?
We expected her to run well. I don't know that we expected her to win or to win like that. We had Tobacco in the same night and he went under the gate, and she had trialed well and she's shown a lot at home, but we didn't know she had that kind of ability, to be honest.
Have you ever seen any filly particularly run through the line as well as she did?
No, that was the exciting thing about it, and even after the wire she was galloping out with her ears pricked and probably pulled farther away from him than after the race too. So I think we were talking to the handicapper, she should have been carrying, for weight for age, she should have been carrying about 50.5 kilos and she was carrying 53. So there's a lot of things to like about it, and she's a real nice filly that I think should run well.
When they win that easily first time out, is there a concern that they've not actually learnt that much?
I don't know, she looked pretty straightforward to me. Like I said, she trialed and she was in and out of horses in the trial and came up the outside and finished third in that trial, and I don't think there'll be a problem with that. I think she's pretty straightforward anyway. She learns everything pretty quickly. When we first started putting her in the gate, she was great there. Every step we've taken with her, she's pretty much progressed, so hopefully. It's a lot tougher race.
Obviously get Thursday out of the way, but would you be considering Oaks and possibly
Yeah, that would
Derby?
be, obviously when you have a filly, especially that just turned 3, those are the races. We've run in the Guineas and the Oaks before with some fillies that might not have been as good as her and probably weren't able to compete with the Godolphin and Mike DeCock fillies in the past year. So hopefully we have one that can, and it'd be great to see.
You've also got High Start in there. She didn't show a great deal on her debut, but I get the feeling
she showed a lot of speed, and the hill got to her, I think. I can't blame her. That's a tough place to run, especially for any horse, but for a 2-year-old filly at the time, I think it was pretty tough to have your first start there. She trains great around here, and I expect her to run well, and a lot better than what she did up the hill.
Moving on to the Derby Stakes, you've got Cool Cowboy, rarely out of the frame in the US. Were you satisfied with his runs last year, bearing in mind it seemed a bit of a rush?
Yeah, it was all a rush last year. We were really expecting him to come on this year. The first run, which has been the same with a lot of our horses that haven't had a run in 10 months or so, didn't go the way we planned at all. He didn't show as much speed as we thought he might do, being fresh, but we're adding the visor this time, and he's trained great all year. I mean, he's a lovely horse, and he works really well. So he'll improve a lot. Whether he can improve enough to win, we're just not sure. But he's a nice horse, and we'll see how he gets through this weekend, but we might stretch him out a little further towards the end of the carnival.
There's a horse that made the run in the States. Do you feel he's quick enough for that over here?
When he did make the run, they had to get him and kind of hoof him the whole way and, encourage him to get the lead. He didn't have that natural speed, but I think over longer trips he would have more of a natural speed, and I do think he, as they say, gets a big heart when he's in front. He gets a little adrenaline and likes things chasing him rather than chasing horses. So we'll just have to see how he gets on Thursday. And he is a nice horse. I know he's top quality horse. We just got to find maybe the trick to him.
And talking of top quality horses, you got Lamario in the Sing Spiel, handicap winner at the carnival last year, and presumably Abu Dhabi was just a bit of a blowout for him.
Yeah, he'd been off for probably the longest break he'd had since he started training. So it was a little dead ground up there that night, and he came back with a good blow. We were pleased with the race. Obviously, you like to win most races you go to, but I think it would have set him up nice for Thursday night.
Would you just class him as just short of a sort of group class level, or would this tell you a bit more on?
This will tell us a bit more. He was group class level when he was younger. He had a hard campaign. He's been back and forth Europe and here and over to Singapore. He's had a nice break. Hopefully we can get him back up to that form.
In Jutland in the 2,000 metre handicap, great to see him bounce back last time out.
Yeah, it was. He came back, and again, he's another one that just ran way below what we thought he would the first time. So first time on the dirt. Kiltrock did pretty good on it a couple weeks ago, first time ever. So we're hoping for something of the same. We're hoping to have Stormbelt and Duran running with them, but they've had a couple little setbacks. They'll be back to the track, but we couldn't run them this week, so Jutland will have to kind of carry the flag for us.
I was going to say, a few of yours have perhaps become used to running at Jebel Ali with Meydan not being dirt. Do you think the change of scenery could do him some good as well?
It might. He trains well around here. He's never been sparkling in the morning, but even when we've taken him up to Jebel Ali in the past for works, he hasn't been sparkling. But when you put him in a race, he tries and gives you 100% every time. So that's why I was a bit disappointed with his first run. I felt a little bad for him because maybe I hadn't prepared him up for that first start, but he came back and showed. I think if it was a mile and a quarter, the other day up the hill. He might have come back and got that horse, or got Sefri, but Sefri ran a great race, and I was pleased to see how he ran in the race.
I'm not forgetting Natha in the non-carnival handicap. I got the feeling you're quite sweet on him.
Yeah, he's a really nice horse. We're a bit unlucky. You know, he won easy his first start on a track that was very deep, and first time up in off a pretty long layoff there, and then we came back over 10 furlongs a couple weeks later, 1900 I think it was. No, maybe it was 10. Sorry, but he got turned over on the bend, just got turned sideways, and I think he just kind of lost it and really didn't run the rest of the race. We expected him to win that day, and he didn't. But I gave him a little time since then because I didn't want to rush him back after having kind of a, he's still a rather young horse for us, and hopefully now we can get a nice rhythm of races, and I think it'll run really well on Thursday night.